You're listening to Military Press Wrestling with your host, Silent J, and his tag team partners, The Professor, That 90s Guy, Mr. Dedicated, and sometimes Tammy's Baby Boy. Your home for everything wrestling. It's real. It's damn real.
Hey everybody, this is Chavo Guerrero Jr. You're listening to Military Press Wrestling. Download it on iTunes. And always remember to Viva la Raza.
This is Military Press Wrestling. And like I said, this is Military Press Wrestling, and I am Silent Jane. In the Red Room of Doom, I have...
He fucks up the...
Oh, what are you doing?
I am the Professor of Professional Wrestling. I am glad to be live from the Red Room of Doom. I unfortunately could not join you guys earlier for Chavo Guerrero and one Del Wilkes, a.k.a. The Patriot, but I'm here, I'm live, I'm ready to go.
That 90s guy going 3 for 3 tonight. This is our third work in a row from Del Wilkes to the great Chavo Guerrero to the four of us lovely gentlemen gracing you with our wrestling knowledge and presence as I pass it over to
Mr. Dedicated, star of the show, obviously. And we got more to come. Stay tuned.
Just because you got the guy's logo on his head's getting to his head, literally.
The Cowboys. Oh boy.
This is Military Press Wrestling. I am Silent J. Goddamn, guys, we had a not goddamn, God blessed. We had a lot going on today, didn't we? I'm skipping finals and paperwork and every other sort of damn thing. So we had the Patriot, Del Wilkes, the one and only. You hear that, Tom Brandy? You rip-off artist.
Salvatore Sincere.
bastard.
You'll never be on Military Press Wrestling. Ever.
Yeah, we will. We're going to expose him.
No, he's not welcome.
Not dedicated.
Gimmick infringement.
There's someone on the show that knows all about that.
We should have the dedicated interview him.
Hey, I heard you're the real Patriot. Well, I'm the real Mr. Dedicated.
He's like, Mr. Dedicated's like, I got the real Patriot here, and I am the Professor of Professional Wrestling.
Infringing 24/7, 365.
Oh, we made another shirt.
Those are my quotes.
You should put on his shirt, I infringe for only $9.99. Anyway, yeah, we had a couple good interviews. Little minor technical issue with the Patriot, and then I went back, guys, and I listened to that section of the Chavo interview. Dude, it cut off like the last 15 seconds of one of his answers. So I made it. The only way I can make it sound good is like you are pretty much like interrupting him. He's like, and blah 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 blah, and you're like, yeah, and I'm the '90s guy. Blah blah. It just it's.
Lucha Underground. Just cut him off.
Well, that's when you say, I take full credit for blah, 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 spreading, Lucha Underground. So he's talking about, like, working in wrestling, and you're like, I'm the reason why everybody listens to
Yeah.
Holy.
I took Mr. Decade's gimmick. 180 it. I'm the reason you watch Lucha Underground. I'm the reason Too much.
Yeah, so the only that was the only real problem with the Chavo interview is just whatever for the recording software just decided to stop in the middle of the interview. But it was all right. I caught it quick enough. You know how upset I would have been if I would have looked in 15 minutes later. I would have noticed that. Oh, so thank God. So anyway, I don't want to indulge too much on the interviews, but it's really good interviews. Some of them you hear, like the same. Obviously, same questions deserve same responses. So you'll hear some of the same stuff out of recent Patriot interviews from like on Stone Cold Show, but also a little different here and there, which I enjoy. Telling interview, man. I didn't realize he was in prison. So I learned something new. And
me not being there, I'm definitely going to have to check those interviews out as soon as they're going to be put up. When are those going to be put up, Jay?
I'm going to do the Patriot interview first. I'm going to have to edit that tomorrow because there's a couple spots, a couple things I'm going to have to really go through. But that'll be up tomorrow night, and we're gonna launch the Chavo interview on the backside of our TLC preview, and so when we open up the TLC preview show and hashtag with WWE TLC, the first thing we're going to plug is the Chavo Guerrero interview, and hopefully we'll get a nice bump from that. So it's all about marketing. So, but for you,
Absolutely.
I'll send it. I'll send it to you before you get it on, before it's available online. So,
please, and thank you. You're the man, Silent J.
The privilege.
I tell you what, man, Chavo, that was a hell of an interview. What did you guys think of it as fans? Now that you look back, an hour or two later, I'm more of a Chavo Guerrero fan, way more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm glad he talked so long. Made our jobs a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, Adam. We said we agreed on like 45 minutes, and we got over an hour on
Overtime.
Chavo. So yeah, good stories. Just great mind, great wrestling mind.
Oh yeah.
So with great wrestling minds, let's dive into Monday Night Raw, because apparently somewhere there's a great wrestling mind that is lacking.
Are we just going right to the point? Because I only watched one match because I determined after that first match it can only get worse from here.
It's the first match. It's the only good part of Raw, guys.
I didn't watch any of it. But
that first match, you literally had everybody in that match throughout the whole show. Like, why would you do that? Like, stupid.
It was innovative, but
I didn't even watch it. Because I watched it on Hulu on Tuesday, and I read the reviews. Yeah, and I saw Twitter. They got beat up. I'm like, I'm not even like wasting my time until I get like 90 minutes that I don't need, then I'll watch it. But until then, I'm going to need all my 90 minutes.
People are leaving from the show because it's the most garbage show I ever seen.
The picture tweeted of everyone cleared out, probably at least half the state arena cleared out before the main event. That should go right to Vince's desk.
They're getting the TNA treatment.
Yeah, everybody on this side of the camera. Professor, what's your take on every, like a ton of fans leaving the arena and even more fans leaving, the television basically and not watching Raw, especially the end? Like, is that concerning or eye-opening, or what do you think, man?
My personal opinion, I think things will pick up WrestleMania season as they always do, and people will stop complaining. And I get why people are complaining. Same reason I'm upset. A lot needs to be changed, and I hope that this is an eye-opener for Vince McMahon. I understand that there's not a whole hell of a lot to work with right now.
Mhm.
But the guys that they have, they're not working with them right. And that's the issue.
But the thing is, though, there's a new creative team now. So that whole first thing of Raw was a whole new creative team writing that.
We'll see how it goes. No, excuse me. You know who I really feel bad for, and I dog these two wrestlers a lot because I don't really particularly care for their, what I see on TV from them. Is Sheamus and Roman Reigns. You got the WWE champion, multiple time champion, guy's been in the WWE for a long time, and then you got a guy who's, how many generation, wrestler, whole families in wrestling. You got two guys that are, I guess you could say, they're dedicated to being where they are. You know what I mean? It's not like two scrubby, nobodies. It's two big name guys that want to be there, and Sheamus and Roman Reigns. And everybody's like, oh, their match is up. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go beat the traffic, or let's go see how Monday Night Football's doing, or let's go watch whatever CNN or whatever the case may be. I feel real bad for them, and not their fault. I guess sort of in their faults, but you can only work with what creative gives you. I mean, I feel bad for them because of what the WWE has put them in.
Yeah, I mean, you're told what to do. You gotta do what you're told. You do it to the best of your ability. And the ring work hasn't lacked, especially between the both of them. I thought the ring work was okay. And I did watch the final segment Monday night when Reigns speared Sheamus through a table. It wasn't bad. It was actually a good spot. But it's creative. The story is boring. The story's not there. No stories are there. So no one's going to care about the ring work because the story's not there. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, you got basically a fairly new top Carter in Reigns. You got a brand new champion in Sheamus, who nobody was behind. It wasn't like he had a long program to get to where he is. You got a brand new angle leading into a pay-per-view. So it's like all brand new. It's like, here, you guys go carry the company now. I think that's fair of a position to definitely put Roman Reigns in. And I don't think it's necessarily fair to ask of Sheamus, like, here, 3 months ago, you were in the opening match of a pay-per-view, a few months ago, nobody really took you serious on television. Now here's the belt. Now go carry the WWE into, the beginning of WrestleMania season. I think it's a really shitty spot that both guys are being placed in right now. It also shows how good of a talent Seth Rollins and how good of a champion I think Seth Rollins became. That it's just the bottom fell out that quick without him.
Yeah, anyone bitching about Seth's biting their tongue now because I'd take him right now over anything, man. This sucks.
Now, Professor, as you sit there, looking very grumpy on camera right now.
I'm sorry.
Tell him what you did.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What do you think? How would you if you were okay? Let's do imaginary booking right now, fantasy booking. Okay, you were one of the new guys on creative. Take us, just what would you do if you were told, hey, fix this mess, fix the ratings? What are you going to do with the talent that you have right now?
Okay, well, Sheamus is not the champion. At this point in time, Roman Reigns is a heel taking that Seth Rollins role. And he has Dean Ambrose chasing him. That's where I would go with the title picture.
I think that's what people want, too. I would like
I didn't and don't, and possibly won't like Roman Reigns. I'm hoping, I would have if they turned him heel, honestly. I would have. That's the role he needs. that they're not putting him in.
Hmm.
I would have liked Roman Reigns if he played the heel part.
Kind of like a Rock 98.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to
Because The Rock, no, we like The Rock.
I hate to compare the two, but yeah, that's what it would have been. I don't know why they didn't do that. Well, I understand why they didn't do that. I'm going to tell you flat out why they didn't do that and why things are the way they are. Sheamus got this role, one, because he's Triple H's boy. Two, because there's no way in hell people would have left WrestleMania happy with him cashing in the Money in the Bank and winning. Flat out.
I think this is also bad booking for Money in the Bank. Why would you even handcuff yourself to where at some point Sheamus is going to be in either the title hunt or the champion with having the Money in the Bank title? And you see, like, history has shown that if you get the Money in the Bank, chances are 9 times out of 10 you're going to be the champion down the road. And that was just really, I don't even know what they were thinking. Like, who on the roster could work well with Sheamus in a title picture, in the title scene? That goes back to Money in the Bank and how I think that was like one of the worst moves that the WWE put themselves in. I mean, you could have put that on, Dolph Ziggler. You could put it on Dean Ambrose. You could put it on Kane. I would be fine with Kane as the champion right now. I'd be very happy with Kane as the champion. Bray Wyatt. I scratched my head then with Sheamus winning the Money in the Bank, and I scratch my head now with Sheamus being the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Dog shit.
But you see where I'm coming from, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
First off, you're going to have the same ending at WrestleMania back-to-back years, and you're going to have Sheamus do that at WrestleMania? No.
No.
And there's no other significant pay-per-views for him to cash it in at.
I think they should have. No, I don't think they should have ever given it to him. Because
no, I agree completely, 100%. Never should have happened.
Nope.
But it's anybody but Roman.
Yeah. Now look at what we have. Great. I wish they would do a cocky heel Roman Reigns, because it's looking at his personality. It's like that would fit perfect. He's got that look, those facial expressions that I think would work perfectly as a cocky heel. And I think Dean Ambrose, as crazy as he is, he's always looks like he's chasing after something all the time, always in a rush. That would be perfect. The cool, calm, collected, cocky heel versus the kind of unhinged, kind of crazy face. I think that would be perfect. It's like Rock and Stone Cold for the IC title, except it's for the world title, and it's almost 20 years later.
Hey, kind of all this comes back to what Chavo Guerrero said 2 hours ago, and that's, you're going to get what we give you, and we're going to give it to you no matter what, and you don't have any other option. That's what Sheamus is to me, because people should know up top headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, that people do not like Sheamus. But that comes back to, we don't give a damn what you like. He's going to win Money in the Bank, and he's going to get the belt. And that's what happened. We knew it happened. We just were afraid when it would happen.
Well, I think this is finally showing. This right here shows worst ratings in years, worst quarter hours, and an hour ratings in years and years. And people are leaving in droves right before the headlining match of this right here actually shows where the fans are like, no, you know what? You could give this to me. All right, well, I'm not going to take it. And I think this is the first time. I think this is the first time since the mid '90s where the fans were like, you know what? I don't like the product. I'm not going to watch it. I don't have to. I can go and watch something else. Here, let me go watch Smoky Mountain Wrestling on your network, because
now, Silent J, do you remember 90 to 95 where people were saying screw you? Is this relatable to that?
Oh my God, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I didn't understand the product then because I didn't know where they were going. It was just like we talked about earlier. It was all characters. You had a plumber, you had a dentist, you had a rock star, you had you had all these guys, and then you saw that segment with Kevin Sullivan and the Giant and Hulk Hogan on Nitro that we watched. That was the alternative, and people were like, "No, oh, you know what the alternative is? ECW." That's where ECW really shined, and this is where something like a Lucha Underground is going to shine, where Ring of Honor. I watched Ring of Honor on Saturday night, and I thoroughly impressed and enjoyed the hell out of the show. And I wasn't really completely familiar with everything that was going on. I just liked it. It was entertaining. You know, I could watch Ring of Honor for the first time in a long time and be happy with it. But Raw, on the other, this is going to make other companies more entertaining, like a Ring of Honor or Global Force Wrestling or Lucha Underground. And I think stuff like that, those companies right there, nobody's going to really be the number two, because NXT is the number two. But I think more people watching NXT and more people watching these other promotions and people walking away from Raw, finally, I think people are going to understand. And when you got guys like Mick Foley talking shit about the product in a nice way on social media, I think that says a lot. Now, what did you guys think of basically the shoot that Mick Foley had on Creative and Monday Night Raw?
I read Mick Foley's Facebook posts every morning, actually. I agree. You know, did you read his post the day after he bashed him?
That one I did not see. No.
He apologized. And he said he has to realize that he cannot publicly bash the company with his son going in as a writer and his daughter trying to get into the business. That's not a good idea. So he said, I think it's time for me to rather text Vince or text Paul or creative, whoever. He's like, I'll just share my opinion with them one-on-one. That's much more professional. I agree.
Yeah.
You can't, when you're in the company like that, you can't be doing that.
But it is very telling where a guy, listen, guys have had their Legends contracts taken away for much less. You know, so it's like he put his neck out on the line. Maybe in hindsight, you know, wasn't the best thing to do, but it
was tough love. He cares about the product.
Yeah. And I
was really laying into him.
Oh yeah.
And I encourage our listeners to go on Mick Foley's Facebook page and look for that. It was about 5 days ago. He really laid into him, and it was just tough love. It's what Vince McMahon needs to hear, damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When are you going to wake up, Vince?
Yeah, Vince needs to stop hearing how good it is. And here's the thing. He's in what, his mid 70s now? Somewhere around?
Hey. Muhammad Ali had his time. Okay?
Yep.
Barry Bonds had his time. John Elway had his time. Kobe's having his time. Vince McMahon has had his time, damn it. It's time to pass the torch. You're not a good leader anymore.
He's not in touch.
You're not in touch with reality anymore. You're just not with the times anymore, Vince. It's time. I would much rather Triple H be the guy to take charge right now.
Vern Gagne, AWA.
Yep.
Vern Gagne, AWA.
That hit the nail right on the head right there. Now, each of you guys, collectively, between yourselves, you don't have to talk amongst yourself, but one thing from each of you that you would change right now, not storyline or this or that, but just what's one glaring thing that is holding the company back. I myself think stuff like the Divas title, just the name, the Divas title, that should go away. It should be the women's title. That's one aspect where whoever thought that's a good idea, it's not a good idea anymore, and I don't think it ever was. It's something like that. I think is holding the company back to where it's like you're out of touch. A purple and pink championship when there's no reason for it, no need for it. Like, what's one thing that you guys would change just for the sake of getting with the times?
First and foremost, I've said this on the show a plethora of times, and I'm going to repeat it once again. It's you don't need Monday Night Raw to be 3 hours long every single week. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
You're killing us. You're killing us. You give us a 2-hour show, knock it all out, split the roster, SmackDown, Raw, 2 champions. You get what I'm saying. Branding.
Yep. That's right there. Mr. Dedicated, what's one thing you would change right now if you could, just for the better?
They need to get more edgier, a little edgier than what they have. Stop with the kid product. Kids old now. Nobody cares. People are old enough now.
The kids that grew up watching John Cena are growing up now.
Yeah, they're like 15 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they get tired of the product, you know. If it's the same thing, like I didn't like when I was 15, I didn't like the same things from when I was 7. You know, my likes grew up, and I think people are going to grow out of wrestling because of it. And what about you, 90s guy? What's the one thing you would change?
Triple H, head of creative for WWE. Vince McMahon, no interference. Vince passes the torch and says, I'll give you the torch. And Triple H says, I only want the torch if you can't interfere in anything, which will never happen till Vincent K. McMahon is in his grave. But it'd still be a nice thought.
Vince McMahon is Jerry Jones.
That's a very good comparison.
No.
I know Mr. Days Off enjoyed that.
I did not. No.
You know what? One other thing I would change if I could: give the wrestlers, give the sports entertainers, give the women's division the ability to think and speak for themselves. I think that's another big thing.
Yeah.
Scripted fakeness. I mean, yeah, it's all scripted, but the scripted fake promo is just. Could you imagine somebody trying to tell Stone Cold how to be Stone Cold in the Attitude Era, or tell The Rock how to be The Rock, or tell?
And that's why the promos were so good, and that's why the stories were so good, and that's why everything was so much better. Because one, everybody here knows what I'm all about in a promo: raw emotion. So when you're just kicking it off and you're just saying what you're feeling and what you're thinking, it's raw emotion. And that's what I'm all about. And that's what, that era was about.
That's how CM Punk got so successful, because he always spoke his mind.
Yeah.
Passion.
Exactly. And you look at, excuse me, one thing on how powerful a good promo can be, the Road Dogg. Nobody's ever going to sit there and say, oh, man, do you remember that body of work the Road Dogg put together in the ring? Like, the Road Dogg was never, Ric Flair. The Road Dogg was never, these guys that could perform in the ring. The Road Dogg would never be confused as Shawn Michaels or Ricky Steamboat.
Wow, man, you're shitting on Road Dogg Just James right now, man. What the hell? That's an Armstrong, damn it.
Listen, what I'm saying is the Road Dogg was able to separate himself by his work on the microphone. His work on the microphone, his movements, his dancing, his physical presence is what put him over, because his body of work at what he can do in the ring was nothing really indifferent. than anybody else at that time, and he really found a way to set himself apart from the crowd. And it's like, how many guys? I wonder how many guys are on the roster that are like a Road Dogg right now that, given the opportunity to think for themselves, could say, you know what, I'm maybe not the best in-ring talent. I'm not the guy that's going to lead an Iron Man match in WrestleMania. But damn it, I'm going to take this microphone, I'm going to take this camera time, and I'm going to make myself a must-see attraction where people are going to not want to change the channel when I'm on the camera.
It's all about letting a character be himself.
Enzo Amore is one of those guys.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods is a perfect example of that guy. They gave him crap for creative. The dude's walking around with a unicorn T-shirt and a trombone and a hairdo, and he's getting himself over because of his hair and a trombone. And that's why, like Adam has said for a long time, New Day rocks.
You're damn right. The professor's been saying since day one that New Day rocks, and it's because, these guys are just being themselves, man. That's what it's all about. Have fun, man. Why? Listen, all anybody ever wants to do in pro wrestling is follow their dream, be a pro wrestler, right? Well, when you get there, who doesn't want the job to be somewhat fun? Have fun, man. You're living your dream, and them locking them down like that is now not allowing them to do that. It's no longer fun anymore, man. It's job.
As Brock said on Stone Cold's podcast, it's a job. Brock wanted to do this once upon a time ago and liked doing it. Now, it's whatever. Come and get your paycheck. I think that's how a lot of guys feel right now, and women.
But he also found his ability to do it and be perfect at it. He found what he was missing in terms of Paul Heyman, or somebody found the perfect connection together. I mean, look at like the New Day. Look at the New Day. You know what the New Day made? The New Day made Big E somebody to listen to on their microphone. Who would have said 2 years ago, man, I can't wait until Big E grabs a microphone? Nobody.
I said it. I'm a big E fan.
You're a liar. I mean, look at Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is Bray Wyatt because of his ability on the microphone. Amore is he sounds like himself on the microphone. And it's sad because you look at Tyler Breeze, great talent in NXT, was able to be himself. Now you could already see where Tyler Breeze is being handcuffed for Raw. And I could kind of see where a guy like Finn Balor is like, no, why would I want to go to the main roster? I'm perfectly fine here at NXT. Because Finn Balor is extremely over in NXT. He's got a great look, an amazing entrance, the best entrance in NXT. And aside from The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, he has, I think, the best entrance in the entire WWE universe. Great moveset. How quick would WWE creative main roster ruin Finn Balor right now?
2 months.
I don't think they will ruin it.
I think 2 days. I think 2 days. Give him a SmackDown intro and give him a Raw match, and he'll be ruined.
I don't think Triple H will get ruined because that's Triple H's guy.
Listen. The professor's asking you to do one thing for me. You could ruin all of them, but don't you dare ruin Finn Balor. All right.
Let me say this though: they didn't ruin Kevin Owens, and they're trying to push him soon.
No, but yeah, I think they did by limiting his moveset. Look at that guy. You could go on YouTube and watch, Kevin Steen's 100 best moves, and not be bored. But look what they
need a longer match. This needs a longer match to get some of the resets.
The pop-up power bomb. That's great. You know what? He's got 99 other moves that he can do, but they just stuck on one. I like his gimmick, the prize fighter thing. He fights for a prize. He fights for money. He fights for the financial championship and stuff like that. Great gimmick. they could work with it so much more. I mean, totally marked out when Kevin Owens hit NXT and then main roster. Now I see a Kevin Owens match, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, Cesaro. Oh, this guy. Oh, Tyson Kidd. Oh, all these guys. It's like, you're limiting themselves. You're going to limit them and pigeonhole them, and that's. If I was an NXT talent and it's like, hey, you got called up to the main roster, I'd be like, all right, fire me now, because that's what's going to happen.
Ben Baylor actually wants to stay in NXT.
Yeah, and I think this is the reason
because he'll be ruined if he doesn't.
Yeah.
A lot of those people want to get on NXT.
Yeah, but going away from WWE, and we're not going to talk about TLC because we're going to save that for the TLC pre-show we did on Survivor Series. Let's talk about some glimmering hope within the wrestling world. And 90s guy, I think you know what I'm talking about. I think this is where you can really talk up the product that you love so much.
And I just woke up. So let me tell you people, today while I'm scrolling through my wrestling paraphernalia, looking through whatever, I found the second season commercial plugging Lucha Underground, which is Wednesday, January 23rd, 2016. We're ready to go. Season 2 is ready and hopping, and I'm ready to rock my favorite wrestling program right now in 15 and into 16. And as our listeners heard, we did talk to Chavo Guerrero earlier, who is the head producer of Lucha Underground, and he told us, hey, man, just stay tuned. In Chavo Guerrero's words, I'll put our 1 hour against their 3 hours any day, and honestly, in my heart, feel we have a better product.
Yeah, well, he also said too is that they don't have to build up a wrestler to make him big because the guys on the roster are big. And I mean, you look at the last 2 episodes of season 1 for Lucha Underground, and that's all you got to say about that talent right there. They're not waiting for the next big thing. They have all the next big things on their roster, I think.
Yep.
There's no holes, as you say, Sanjay. From match 1 to match 4 on a regular night, you're going to get 4 damn good matches.
Yes,
Not one, you're going to get 4 damn good matches. And you can't say that for Monday Night Raw. You could say 1. You can guarantee you'll get 1 good match on Monday Night Raw. But I'm talking about 4 in an hour. That's quality.
4 good matches and a great story behind it.
Well, he also alluded to. He said, we're not doing the shows as wrestling shows. We're doing it as like a TV show. What did he say? He equated it to like filming a movie. And that shows a lot. Like, why can't I hit a girl with a chair? Yes, I can. It's like, why can't I do this? So, like, they're not limiting themselves. And yeah, you're going to see a little harder edge. You're not going to see the insane CW stuff, but you're going to see them like, why? Okay, if a wrestler hits a girl with a chair, if it makes sense, why not tell it? Just as long as you don't get the crazy, super triple freaking, death moves on a female wrestler by some big jacked up dude. If it makes sense, why not hit a girl? If it makes sense, why not have a long vignette or a storyline or what do you say? Like people getting killed. They kill people in Lucha Underground. And why not? Why not kill people? You know what I mean? If it works, it works. But one thing going back to the WWE about maybe some hope. We got somebody coming back. We're not WWE, but the WWE has a wrestler coming back who had a lot of momentum on his side in Sammy Zayn. What do you guys think about the return of Sammy Zayn? And how can he fit into the product and how could he work?
NXT's been hurting, in my opinion, the last couple months. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Like it's missing a match or 2, an element's missing. I guess that's a missing element because I've enjoyed Joe versus Finn, but it's time for Sammy. Sammy's comeback's going to be real big, and so will Hideo Itami's, which isn't far off either. So we're about to get the top card to mid card boosted back up in NXT, and for an NXT fan, that's nothing but exciting.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Professor, what do you think about the return of Sammy Zayn?
I'm a huge Sammy Zayn fan. Me being someone in sports who cheers for the underdog, huge Daniel Bryan fan. You know, so in wrestling, I cheer for the underdog as well. I enjoy Sammy Zayn's work, and I hope to see more success. I hope they don't bury him either.
Probably will bury him in the main roster. But I'm excited for him to come back.
I think it's going to be a Daniel Bryan situation. He's just going to be too over. He's going to get too over.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it. He's going to get too over.
I could see
and you
that.
can't bury it. Sorry.
That's what I was going to ask. Is Sami Zayn going to be able to pick up so much momentum, you know, a la Daniel Bryan, that it's just like no matter what you do, this guy's going to get over. I mean, Daniel Bryan had what a match that lasted seconds, and he had a catchphrase of yes, 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 and no, 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 and he made it work. You know, he took you two words. He took yes and he took no, and he got over on it. So I do think Sami Zayn is going to be hopefully in the same footing, to where it's like no matter what you do, he's gonna be over, and you're going to be an idiot not to run with it. You know what I mean?
If you go back to that Cena Sami Zayn match, when Sami Zayn made his debut the first time in the main roster, that big old pop he got as he came out, that's a good start.
He's got good electricity too. He's got a good feel when he comes out. Like, you're not going to have Sami Zayn, you know, hitting the stage and his music hitting and his lights going off and sit on your hands. You know, you have no choice but to get up. You have no choice but to be excited, because he carries a level of electricity with him. And hell, you know what? I think he'd have some great matches with Kevin Owens, with Dean Ambrose, with Neville. I mean, I would love to see Neville and Sami Zayn play out their feud on the main roster, the way they did in NXT. Of, you know, that begrudgingly, you know, you're my friend, I'm your friend, but we're competition, because that came over really well. And I think that a feud like that between like Neville and Sami Zayn, naturally somebody's going to turn into a face and somebody's going to turn into a heel. And I think something like that would be good, because that's naturally going to play out, and it's going to be left up to the audience to decide in a situation like that who's going to play what role. You know, instead of Roman Reigns is going to be the face, you know, Sheamus is going to be the heel, you know, John Cena is going to be the face. I think some of that younger talent that WWE is going to be able to better dictate, you know, what they want. But hopefully, you know, wishing one hand, shit in the other, see what you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with Lucha Underground and stuff like that, I mean, really, what's there to be excited for as a wrestling fan right now, for like the next month or two, before Royal Rumble, and then the Royal Rumble kicks in and WrestleMania? I mean, really, what's going to carry over to really keep the crowd interested until the Royal Rumble?
Rey Mysterio, the handcuffs are taken off, and he can do whatever he wants. And this is something we've never seen before, ever. So I'm very excited to see. Here's a mic, Ray. Do what you want. Oh, there's the ring. Go do what you want. And PJ Black, too.
Yeah. Oh,
something else.
You know what? Global Force Wrestling coming out to the East Coast. I think that'll open up. They're coming to New York and New Jersey.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
PJ Black, the Bollywood Boys. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you.
But we told you so.
Speaking of that, I never played that, did I? play it for Adam right here. We'll let this intro go, and then we'll focus a little bit on a couple other things. Tommy Dreamer, what we think about him, and our time at ESW, and then we'll go into the history mark as soon as the Bollywood boys start talking. Why aren't they talking, Bollywood boys? Oh, because the volume's down. Of course.
Oh,
Damn it.
Hey, this is your Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Bollywood Boys, and you're listening to Military Press Wrestling. Stay connected to the best wrestling podcast out there. Because the Bollywood Boys, we're not the type of guys to tell we told you so, but we told you so.
That's awesome.
Nice.
When you played the Chavo one in the beginning, I was sitting here and I was marking out like a little kid, and that '90s guy is telling me you can't mark out when we unmute the mic. But I'm trying not to mark out now though, because that was pretty badass too.
Everybody, this is Chavo Guerrero Jr. You're listening to Military Press Wrestling. Download it on iTunes. And always remember to Viva la Rasta.
There you go. You have no choice but to mark out. I was in the 7-Eleven getting ice cream before the show, and I was marking out. I was going Viva la Rasta to the frozen pizza in 7-Eleven for no freaking reason whatsoever. But I was, and I was doing this with my hand. I really don't know what this meant, but I was doing that to the pizza. So
Jay.
I'm proud of it, and I'll do it again if I have the chance. But anyway, really, here's another thing. If I have the chance to do it again, will I? Well, guess what? Tommy Dreamer did. What do you guys think of Tommy Dreamer and the ECW resurgence in the WWE, and the fact that we saw him 2 days before him hitting the stage on Monday Night Raw in ESW?
yeah, I didn't know where to begin, so I guess I'm going to start on Monday night.
You should start on Saturday night.
I should go in order, but I want to go backwards because this is the first time in 10 years. And me and my brother were playing video games, so I was flipping back and forth, and we're going, all right, well, let me just see what's going on. I need to see the starting. And Bub was like, oh, I got our fourth man. I hadn't seen my brother mark out for wrestling in 10 years until Rhino came out. And I look over at my brother and go, oh! Huge Rhino fan. So I think the team is good, and I think they'll do very well Sunday, and I'm very excited. And it's kind of funny, we saw Tommy Dreamer last Saturday night here in Buffalo, New York, outside Niagara Falls. He worked Empire State Wrestling's Wrestle Bash, their biggest show of the year, working the main event against Asylum in a no DQ hardcore match. And Tommy put on a damn good match, and it didn't cross my mind that this man be working on Monday Night Raw 2 nights later. But yeah.
Wow is all I could say. Really. Good for Tommy Dreamer. Good for all those guys. It's awesome.
Yeah, you know what? Man, I was really hoping it would be Spike coming out, but then I thought
they got over Spike.
But then I thought about it. I'm like, those guys are all big in the Y family. Naturally, Spike's not going to work. So Rhino, I think, is perfect. You got 4.
Hey, you said Rhino should come up a couple weeks ago.
You got 4 ECW originals, big guys. None of them are small. Tommy Dreamer's a big guy, just solid guy. Rhino's a big dude. The Dudleys are big. Perfect against a big tag, a big stable like the Wyatt family. And the fact that we did get to see Tommy Dreamer blow his opponent through a non-gimmick table, because that did not look, that table at ESW, that was a Botchamania table right there.
That's a real table. I was worried that wasn't going to break.
It really did. It found the point. But let's talk up ESW real quick. Empire State Wrestling. My first ever card for Empire State Wrestling, and their biggest one of the year, which I was thoroughly impressed and happy and excited. I guess, Professor, this is your thing. This is your baby in ESW. What did you think of ESW?
I have been a fan of Empire State Wrestling for years. That's really, it's awesome. I've been going since
14.
Since I was about 12 or 13. The talent that has come out of there, Cody Deaner, Luke Harper, also known as Brody Lee. If anyone remembers Colin Delaney.
I do.
Oh, he was on the WWE roster, man.
I love Colin Delaney.
Speaking of Cody Deaner, guess who's going to be on the show in the next couple weeks?
Deaner!
Deaner is going
formerly known as Cody Steele.
I was going to say, the professor taught me his ESW name was Cody Steele, and he had long hair. He looked like CM Punk. I goes, that's CM Punk. He goes, no, it's Cody Steele, better known as Cody Deaner. I go, what?
I'll tell you.
Well,
I already got my recommendation of the week.
We're going to have Cody Deaner coming up. We're going to work a day out with that, and we're also going to work out a day with RJ City from ESW.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking to Al Snow right now, and I'm talking to Val Venus in next month.
Also known as Captain Cannabis.
Captain Cannabis.
And we're also going to have Nick from the Good Brothers at ECCW, and he has a Val Venus story that he's going to share.
And we love ECCW to our fans in Western Canada, and we will we look forward to that interview and the story, which is very good. Wink, wink.
Yeah, it was squinty eye wink. Yeah, it's not too often where you got a story with the right to censor, but he does. Now with ESW, I looked at that. I've been to indie shows. I was a part of one indie show. ESW to me, a really good indie promotion. Like I would say,
upper end, yeah.
I would say a higher end. I'm not going to say top end indie promotion because I think top end indie promotions are like NWA Hollywood is a big top end indie promotion. But ESW, I mean, if they're levels, if they're tiers, they got to be, they got to be second from the top in terms of indie promotions. They had
these are the guys I grew up watching, man. These were my dusty roads. For people that grew up in Florida, these were Johnny Puma is hands down probably, in my opinion, the greatest wrestler in Western New York history. And that's saying a lot. And it is saying a lot. And I would tell him that if we ever had him on the show.
Now, if you could go back in time, would you say that to Elio DePaulo?
Ooh.
Well,
would you say
wrestling,
Would you say that? Would you say that to Johnny B. Bad?
Yeah.
Would you say that Lex Luger, Mikey Whipwreck? Huh?
Lex Luger doesn't claim us, so no.
Yeah, you shove it.
Greg Oden, build out of Chicago, Illinois.
Greg Oden doesn't claim us either. He can shove it too.
Who? Greg Oden. What the hell is who's Greg Oden?
NBA center. Never won over the pick.
Oh.
He doesn't claim us. He was born
here.
here.
I know. Why is Jay doesn't know who Greg Oden is?
I know who Greg Oden. I know you're talking about a wrestler. I'm like, who the fuck is Greg Oden, the wrestler?
Basketball.
In all seriousness, yes, I do believe Johnny Puma is the greatest of all time in Western New York history. Just flat out, the guy's got charisma. His in-ring talent in his prime, bar none. Some of the best work I've seen. His mic work is impeccable. He's also a stand-up comedian, so that goes right into it.
And we just watched him Saturday night win the tag team titles and put out.
Yes, we did.
Put out a damn good show at 42 or 3. He's over 40 now. It's pushing early 40s.
Nothing wrong with that age group. All right.
He's in good shape.
We don't have to highlight that age group and how shocked we are when people do stuff in that age group.
Look at Paul Levesque.
How about a back body drop through a table at 53? Anybody gonna do that?
Can he deliver a hand in his 70s?
Oh shoot! I wasn't ready for that.
Which leads into Professor. Did you know? Do you want to know who the Patriot was trained by?
Who?
You'll have to tune in to our exclusive interview with the Patriot on podbean.com and iTunes to find out what legendary wrestling name the Patriot went to at their wrestling school in South Carolina.
And the professor gets to listen to it before everybody else. The privileges.
The privileges of drinking with Andre Reed.
You have no idea.
Oh man.
Hey, you know what? I would skip an interview with the Patriot and Chavo Guerrero to have a drink with Andre Reed. I mean, that's
I wasn't drinking. I wasn't drinking. No, I was at work.
You would not skip an interview with the Patriot for Andre Reed.
I wish I had a beer, man. I wish I was able to drink. I would have been there all night.
You're damn right. I think the only Buffalo Bills player that I would skip an interview with for any wrestler, and I'm dead serious, any wrestler would be Jim Kelly.
I met Jim Kelly. Good guy.
No, I met when he was inducted into the Wall of Fame. My best friend and I were running up the ramp to get back to our seats after getting beer to go watch Jim Kelly be inducted into the Ring of Fame, the Wall of Fame at Ralph Wilson Stadium. We're running up the ramp to our seats and bump into this guy, spill beer. I look up and it's Jim Kelly, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm late for my ceremony."
That's great. I really didn't want to bother him. I didn't. And this guy sitting next to me, we're watching Sports Center, and he goes, something about the Cardinals secondary comes up, and he goes, I know who the Cardinals secondary couldn't stop back at his prime. And all of a sudden, Andre turns his head back and go, "Who's that?" And I point at him and yell, "You know who that is. You know." I was in my glory, that's for sure.
Nice. Well, we were all a little starstruck today. I mean, good for us. But going into 90s guy, what have we missed that's been brewing on Instagram for a few weeks now, and we need to find out the winner of something. So 90s guy, who my friend is, this is called stalling, who is the winner of the history mark of the week per the fans on Instagram, on our Instagram voting. If you go to Military Press Wrestling on Instagram, you could check out the photos that we put up for the history mark of the week, and you could vote on them. So who won that interesting topic that we had of the best fat wrestler?
The best fat wrestler ever. Coming in last place, Cheeks, TNA legend, who broke the ring the first night of TNA and almost single-handedly ended TNA. And people need to know that fact. It's important.
It's a shame he did.
Okay, I was gonna say who said Cheeks, but that answer summed it up. Next, who's number 3? Who beat out Cheeks?
Second last, Bam Bam Bigelow.
What?
Yeah, that's
BS.
Second last place, Yokozuna, with first place going to
Hold on.
Vader.
Hold on. Very respectable first place, but come on, Yokozuna, that dude was big. Serious?
We didn't we didn't say who was the fattest guy. All right. All right.
The
We said
best
who's
fat
the most
man.
skilled out of them all. And Vader is. All
Bam
right.
Bam's
Former
better.
WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
That's
Damn
the
it.
picture I got too.
So who picked Vader?
The professor of professional wrestling picked Vader. Damn it.
All right,
That is bar none.
the floor is yours. Talk up one Big Van Vader.
Big Van Vader, former offensive guard for the LA Rams, straight out of Compton.
Literally.
Yeah, serious. Vader, in my opinion, is the greatest big man in pro wrestling. The power, the way he can move. The man could do a moonsault. Okay? There's not many big guys that could do that. He's 300 plus pounds
Bam Bam
doing
good.
a flip. I'll give Bam Bam that.
Plus,
But Vader,
300 plus. You're talking, dude. You're talking closer to 400 pounds for Vader.
yeah, close to 400. And geez, imagine that. Imagine being a middle linebacker, seeing that pulling around.
Oh. No.
Vader, seriously, man, go back and watch any of his matches. The thing that I could say about Vader is it was so believable. You believe that he could kick anybody's ass. Look at the size of him.
Because he could.
And then he has Harley Race in his corner. You know you're getting your ass kicked.
He had Harley Race as his manager. Okay, you guys back.
That's it.
Go back, watch any of his matches with Ric Flair. They're masterpieces. The man can work.
Yes, that one match. What was it, like Clash of Champions? Which we
Yes.
about before, when he superplexed Ric Flair. I think a couple times. A hell of a match, a brutal match. But also, I think we're missing one thing. He put over Ron Simmons as the first African American world heavyweight champion in wrestling in a major promotion. That right there says a lot on how, just he didn't. You know what? He could have really stiffed Ron Simmons in the ring. You always hear
He
those.
also ripped off Mick Foley's ear.
Yeah, and Stan Hansen popped his eyeball out. I mean, the guy been through it all.
He kept wrestling.
He what?
Big Van Vader got his eye popped out in the middle of a match and kept wrestling. You damn right he's the best big man in pro wrestling history, and you damn right the professor came in first place this week.
Oh my God, I can't wait until Mr. Dedicated wins next week. But with that being said, yeah, best big man. I mean, scary dude. Scary big man. He pushed his eyeball in and punched Stan Hansen in the face. There, right there. If that's the only thing he ever did in life, I would say he's a badass. And he's a white guy from Compton. So, I mean, just a badass. But with that being said, 90s guy, what else we got in store for the show?
This is called stalling. The number one thing I want to get out is we have 2 great weeks here of pay-per-views lined up, ladies and gentlemen, including TLC Sunday, NXT London TakeOver next Wednesday, and Ring of Honor Final Battle in 2 weeks. So it is a perfect time, holiday season, to get your wrestling on.
Nice. And the history mark for next week. How about we do something a little topical and maybe the best TLC match? You want to do something like that, or you guys have something else in store?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
There you go. That's right up your alley, Mr. Dedicated. Can't have a good
And flaming tables,
Barbed
and barbed
wire,
wire, and
nails.
Jim Ross set on fire to have me
yeah.
entertain Mr. Dedicated.
That's what entertains me.
All right. So, well, let's go with 90s. Good. Let's go first. What's your pick for a TLC match that you consider the number one match?
TLC 3, Raw, Roulette, October 2002. RVD and Jeff Jarrett versus Bubba Ray and Spike versus Jeff Hardy. Oh,
I didn't want to say
it's
anything.
getting late in the Red Room of Doom. Jeff Hardy versus Christian and Jericho versus Kane. Fatal 4-way tag match for the tag titles on Raw.
Nice. I like it. Mr. Reddick, one, or do you want?
I'll go.
I'm ready.
TLC number 2, WrestleMania 18? 17, that's right. Yeah, the Dudleys versus the Hardys versus Edge and Christian, number 2.
I like that. And Professor, how about yourself, my friend?
I'm not going to make a cliche pick, so I'm going to go with TLC 2012. Ryback, Kane, and Daniel Bryan take on The Shield, and by God, is it amazing. Go back, watch that one. Matter of fact, I just made that my recommendation of the week. So that's how good it is.
I like that. I like that, and I like the fact that it's also the recommendation of the week. I myself am going to go with Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys, SummerSlam 2000.
We did TLC 1, 2, and 3.
And the Professor thought outside the box.
Who's going to win out of the 3 of us, though?
Those are only the best 4, I really think, anyways.
Not the Professor. The Professor, I know, is not going to win because we can never have a back-to-back champion without Mr. Dedicated's name being thrown in the mix.
Either I'm undefeated or I'm taking a spot.
You gotta pick what you gotta either pick Silent J's, that 90s guys, or the Professors, because we're not having Mr. Days off dancing and prancing around celebrating. I'm not having
I
it.
did not take a day off today. I was dedicated today. Where were you?
You know where the Professor is? The most dedicated man in the Red Room of Doom. I'm here every Wednesday live on Military Press Wrestling.
And you know what? He literally did not take a day off. That's why he wasn't here earlier.
Literally, I went to work and handled business, and now I'm here live in the Red Room of Doom, kicking ass, taking names. You know how we do it.
Right. Now, Professor, we already got your suggestion. Mr. Dedicated, do you have a suggestion for all the boys and girls out there over the next week?
I'm going to go with one of our guests today, Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero versus Undertaker, SmackDown 2009, in a casket match.
I like
Shawn Michaels YouTube shoot interview from 2000. It's an hour and a half long if you're bored, and it's very, very entertaining because Shawn's still on drugs, and he doesn't hold back on anything. So if you want to see something unrated and get some info, there you go. My recommendation of the week.
Thank you. I'm going to have to check that out.
And I'm going to go keep it topical with the guest that we had tonight. I'm going to go with Chavo Guerrero versus Eddie Guerrero, hair versus hair match at Bash at the Beach. You got to love a good family rivalry. And like Chavo said that, how much Eddie pushed him, to, how they kind of, they fed off each other because they're only a 3-year difference between the two of them. I can't think of a better Chavo match than an Eddie Guerrero match with the two of them combined. And truth be told, per the interview earlier, the Professor, what do you think about this? Chavo stated in his feelings, with all cylinders clicking at the time for the Guerreros when they were teaming up, that they were the best tag team out there at that time when it was Chavo and Eddie Guerrero.
Bar none.
There you go. I mean, they had a little bit of everything. Like I said, I missed that when I was gone, and I've gone back on the network and I saw a lot of their stuff, and yeah, they the charisma, the moves, the chemistry, yeah, it's really hard to argue. Kind of unfair, I think, because they didn't have the talent I think they deserved. I think the Guerreros could have gone down as one of the best tag teams ever in a different era with different competition. Could you imagine the Guerreros, in the downside of the Attitude Era with Edge and Christian, Hardys, the Dudley Boys, APA, the Brothers of Destruction, all these other tag teams, that were out there. I mean, hell, Val Venus and the Godfather, when they were in The Right to Censor.
Hey!
Look at all the tag teams that they had. I mean, a dream tag team. How about Bret and Owen Hart versus Eddie and Chavo Guerrero? How badass of a match do you think that would have been? That's a question.
Eddie and Chavo versus
Bret.
DOD. Brett, you broke up. Sorry.
Oh, I said Eddie and Chavo Guerrero versus Bret and Owen Hart. How badass of a match do you think that would have been?
That could be main event material, how you look at it. And saying a tag team match main event is taboo. But and if this match is taking place in 1996, hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
Could you imagine all four of them peak at the peak of their the peak of their game? I think that could have headlined a WrestleMania. I really do.
As long as Pepe's in the corner of the Guerreros.
We asked about
that was my question, damn it.
No, it wasn't. You weren't here.
That was my
question. Yeah, we asked about Pepe, and you know what? He took the ball and ran with it. You know what else he kind of liked? I didn't think he would like it. Kerwin White, and how he wanted to go farther with that 90s. What did he say that he wanted to? He really wanted to push the envelope with that one.
If I'm going to be the best racist Mexican heel on whites, I'd go out and wear a white sheet.
Yeah. Could you
I can't wait to listen to this interview.
Could you imagine?
That's the question that I told Sean to ask about Pepe.
I did.
I'm excited. Could you imagine him coming out in a robe as a Mexican American wrestler, being the anti-Latino pro-white wrestler at the time, coming out in a robe? That's more or less what Chavo wanted. Like you said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. He also said how he had the respect of Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon said, "You know why I like you Guerreros? Because you guys got balls.
You got cojones. You're not afraid to say what you want and do what you want if you don't like something. Yeah.
You got balls, so you're not fired." So with that, we're going to get going. And tomorrow night, you could check out on Podbean, and the following morning on iTunes, you can check out our interview with the Patriot Del Wilkes. And Sunday for our TLC kickoff prediction show, we're going to be launching the Chavo Guerrero match. And look down the line, we're going to have Cody Deaner. We're going to have RJ City. We're going to have Nick from the Good Brothers of ECCW. Val Venus, maybe?
Val Venus, maybe.
Oh, maybe. And you know what? I think with that momentum is going to carry us into other performers in the ring. And there's a couple that I am working on that I'm going to keep a surprise because I don't want to jinx it whatsoever. So, with that being said, you guys got any final thoughts before we get the hell out of here?
I'm that 90s guy. Worked 6 straight hours, 3 straight shows, and I'm damn proud of it. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to Military Press Wrestling. We will be back with you Sunday for our pre-show for the pay-per-view TLC. Have a good week, people.
I'm the professor of professional wrestling, and I worked from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to show up here in the Red Room of Doom just because I love all of you so much. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday. You know where to find us, right here in the Red Room of Doom.
And it's Mr. Dedicated, star of the show.
All right.
I eat, sleep, NPW, repeat. I hope you're all dedicated every Wednesday. And
Just every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday. That's all you need.
that's all you need. Stay dedicated.
It just lumbers over gimmicks like Godzilla over Tokyo.
One on the other.
But with that, I'm gonna end with a nice drink of barrel aged gin.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, he was drinking a lot of it.
It didn't share.
I offered, you dirty son of a bitch. I'm like, do you want a sip of this before we go on? And he just looked at it like it was a cup of donkey piss.
Yeah, he didn't take it. I heard that. Sanjay offered him some and he didn't take it.
I was trying to be sober for once.
No, you weren't.
You guys
Sounds
know
bad.
I always offer food and drink. Always offer food and drink in the house. But you know that
Great beer last time.
that 90s guy was too busy playing tummy sticks with my puppy. So great. And with that, I am Silent J. We're going to end on tummy sticks and puppies. I am Silent J, and this is Military Press Wrestling. And we will see you guys on Sunday night before TLC.
Hey everybody, this is Chavo Guerrero Jr. You're listening to Military Press Wrestling. Download it on iTunes. And always remember to Viva la Raza.
You're listening to Military Press Wrestling with your host, Silent J, and his tag team partners, The Professor, That 90s Guy, Mr. Dedicated, and sometimes Tammy's Baby Boy. Your home for everything wrestling. It's real. It's damn real.